Roger Parrott from Freshwater Wealth joins me now to discuss his philosophy, who Freshwater Wealth is trying to target, and of course, what clients want. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here at AusBiz. When we think about the financial advice business, many of our audience are retired, planning for retirement. Is that where you see a lot of demand coming from?
Yeah, we see a huge demand at the moment for people that are sort of planning to retire in that space, sort of 55 onwards type of thing, where they're sort of looking forward to, have I got enough? What's my lifestyle going to be like? So yeah, a lot of demand in that space.
Yeah, and when you think about what is on offer to clients, but talking about how there's now in Australia a lot more products, a lot more options for people who are planning for their retirement in terms of product development. Do you think that's happening?
Yeah, sure. And I guess on one hand, that's fantastic. Do you know what I mean? To serve different problems, but it also creates more complexity as well, in terms of sometimes more choice is actually creates even more uncertainty and more confusion. That's where getting advice is obviously really important.
Yeah, okay. So I understand that you've got sort of 7 steps to a great retirement lifestyle. Come on, cool. Hit me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so we've sort of developed this over sort of 25 odd years, where I think there's really methodology in terms of actually how to get that great retirement outcome. So the first one's an exciting one, right? It's about making plans, not only in terms of what you'd like to do, but also consider those sort of life events that, maybe there's parents who are going to pass away, a whole lot of things that, risks that you may have to plan for as well. So the first one is planning. The second one is generating an income. So for retirees, obviously that's like really key to make sure they've got enough income to live. The second one is minimising tax. Obviously, the lower the tax, the longer the money will last for, and more money we can pass on to beneficiaries. The third one really is about optimising debt, if they've got any debt. So trying to make sure that's set up in a tax-effective manner. The next one's investing. Surprisingly, investing isn't the first, you know what I mean? So we're now talking about how to invest in a prudent way. The last one is about protecting assets, so whether it's in terms of making gifts and things like that, how do we protect those assets in the family lineage? And the last one is how do we, leave a legacy or create gifts or inheritance for future generations?
Well, we have a lot of people in our audience who are interested in succession. In fact, we've got an event coming up later in this month, actually, about how you do that. So when people are thinking about their financial legacy or gifting to their family or their children, passing along the business, where do you start that conversation?
I think it's always good to start in terms of their ideal plan, in terms of what they would like if they weren't around, in terms of dollar value and what have you. I think it's then easy for us then to work out the best way for them to do that. Sometimes people get a bit complicated. I want to do this and what about that and what have you, and it can get a bit complicated. So I think really think high level, and then we'll show them the way to actually get there. So it may not be about dividing assets up equally. From a tax perspective, it may actually be better to gift certain assets to certain people. So all those type of considerations we can help them with. I think high level, start off where you want the end outcome to be, and we'll sort of fill in the gaps. Do
you have a lot of people coming to you wondering how they can help their kids, their adult kids, buy their first home?
Yeah, sure. I would say in the last couple of years, gifting, out of all the 7 steps, gifting has been a huge one for people. 18 months ago, there were a lot of talk about how do we help out our kids, adult kids, with deposits and things like that. We're definitely seeing that, and surprisingly now it's the other way. It's actually receiving gifts. So a lot of, unfortunately as it is, I think the intergenerational wealth transfer is happening. It's started. It's right now, because I'm probably seeing on a regular basis people now thinking about their elderly parents and actually receiving gifts as well. So they're considering not only their own estate planning but their parents, to make sure that's structured in the right way as well.
It's a lot, isn't it, when you are also still working?
Correct, yeah.
When you are also still involved with your family, if you have one, and when, to your point, you're often now taking care of, what is it, they call it the sandwich generation?
That's
taking
right.
Care of parents as well. What do you say to people who think that they're going to maybe use technology, maybe use a little bit of help to do it themselves?
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of people, it's trying to realise the opportunities they don't know they have, and sometimes understand the problems they don't, or the risks they don't realise they have as well. So I think technology does play a part, but sometimes, you know, it's difficult to sort of go that next level down to say, okay, what type of opportunities you have or risks. You know, if you come to me and say, can I do this, this and this, I can certainly do it for you. But maybe there's a whole lot of, you know, things that you've just overlooked. So, and that's where I think getting advice really adds value.